Okay, what's up, what's up, what's up, everybody? We are live on two platforms. We're live on my David Jose page. We are also live on Josh Barnett's page. Guys, we have a very, very, very important show for you. I'm going to invite some people on mine. We are going to break down to you guys, number one, the difference between jurisdictions as Josh Barnett taught yesterday. Why is this so important? We're in a time right now where government officials are trying to take over the nation. There's a coup going on that if we don't do something as the people, we will lose all of our rights. So what we're going to do is we're going to break down the differences in jurisdictions, and we're going to teach you the difference between an affidavit that puts you in the right status or the right standing or the right jurisdiction to be able to have your affidavits count and stand on your rights, and an affidavit that is done wrong, that's truly not an affidavit, where somebody could steal your property, steal your rights, and in this case,
no affiant,
yeah,
or no notarized signature on it.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of crazy because we have the Constitution and the law that tells us how to do things, and we got people who are attorneys who really don't have our best interests in heart. Attorneys love litigating, and the longer that they litigate and the more cases that, that they have, the more money that they make. And so if you're trying to find solutions and answers, you definitely don't want to go to somebody who gets paid by the hour and think that they're going to give you the most information if they don't get to go to court.
Yeah, they're gonna try to keep it in there, make that money.
Yeah, so and
they have the one thing that's super important is understanding the difference, which he's going to describe in detail, the differences between the basic two jurisdictions that you can be in, and why we're trying to make the affidavit bulletproof, to make it 100% and leave no discernment to a judge to toss it out and say this is not evidence.
Yes.
When you can make it, I don't understand why you'd even waste your time making some half-ass affidavit when you can make it bulletproof. And he can explain, we talked about yesterday, how to make it even more bulletproof.
Yes.
With having a proper notarization on it. So I'll let David take it.
Yeah, so guys, this is super important. If you realize what's going on, you can clearly see here, everyone. You can clearly see that government officials are telling us to just shut up and be quiet about the election. You're sore losers if you just don't take what we say. And what's happening, guys, is there is a danger to the American people.
Trust me. Just trust us.
Yeah, just trust us.
Your vote
right?
counted. It had a green light. It counted. Trust us. Just go on with your business.
That's right.
We'll handle it from here.
Yeah, and this is the thing, guys. For too long, we've been seeing houses raped and pillaged, people getting caught up in federal programs where they're stealing your hard-earned money. They're taking your houses. They're taking your cars. They're taking your children. They're doing all types of negative things.
Katie Hobbs is getting major heat for her stupid-ass racist comment.
Katie Hobbs has made it abundantly clear. Trump has made it abundantly clear he's more interested in pandering to his neo-Nazi base.
Are you a neo-Nazi?
Heck no. Than being POTUS for all Americans. Guys,
everyone's seeing this stuff. She's an idiot.
This is a tripped out situation because they are trying as
this is Secretary
of State of
Arizona, who says we don't need an audit. We got this. It's okay.
Even though we know it's been voter fraud.
You should. She's yelling at elected officials like Gozar and Bates. Mm-hmm. You should question our integrity of elections here. Really? Now, Trump just posted about how you're deleting and robbing and stealing voters' ballots.
Guys, this is an attack on the American people. It has been found that millions of votes have been deleted in this election. And it's the American people.
Let me get your way.
It's the American people that are being attacked. Let's not even think about President Trump right now. It ain't fair to him, right? But let's just think about the American people. If you voted for someone, your vote should count. Please share this with everybody, y'all, because we're going to free the whole nation and we're getting ready to save the republic, and we're going to show you how. Guys, if you had your vote tampered with, If somebody attempted to defraud you of being able to vote, that is an attack on the American people, and as the people, you have standing to deal with this. The American people have the power by right to direct our legislature. So if somebody's trying to defraud the people, we need to tell the legislature, hey, we want an investigation into that. Hey, we got affidavits swearing this happened. Hey, we want criminal prosecution. So let's go ahead and find all the information of what went wrong. Let's put all these affidavits on the public record and let's arrest everybody who has something to do with it. But this scam is so large that they're trying to cover up your ability to even ask about it, because they know if you ask, you're going to start seeking and the truth is going to come out. Guys, the news media, who've been lying to us for years, is saying there is no evidence of fraud. But we personally seen a ton of affidavits written right in front of us with tons of fraud. You got to take it.
I got to take it. I'll be right back up.
All right, y'all.
Sorry, guys.
We got some really important stuff going on, so we'll get with y'all in a second. I'm going to go ahead and start teaching so y'all can see this. Yeah, they were doing a ton of shenanigans at the polls, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and get into this law stuff so y'all can see it. I'm going to show you how to get out of the false jurisdiction. Let's see. Yes, is way more than just mail-in ballots. That's right, guys. The systems have been programmed. I saw the manual, guys, to delete votes, to be able to scrub votes, to scrub all the evidence after the fact. I seen it all. So we're getting ready to go hard a second. We're getting ready to show you guys how to stand on your highest jurisdiction. So give me a thumbs up if you want to know how to stand on the highest jurisdiction to be able to direct your representatives where they can't hide, where they can't trick you, where they can't defraud you. And you can deal with this in all your cases. And with the affidavits that you're using to show this election fraud, we need to let it be seen right now. So that's what we're going to do. Thumbs up if you want it. All right. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the power of the people. So I'm going to ask you guys a question, and I need some feedback. Which one would you rather have, guys? We're going to let Josh get back up so his people can see this too.
Let me share this and I'll pull it right back up. There'll be two separate ones.
All right. So, guys, what we're going to ask is this. If you can stand in your highest power ever and have all your rights and be free people, would you rather be that, or would you rather be a slave, a subject, or something of that nature? Give me a thumbs up if you would rather be one of the people. I got a 10-second delay, so it's going to take a second. Child support, we're going to deal with that too. All of it is federal programs. Child support enforcement, CPS, Highway Safety Act, even getting justice with this election fraud issue is going to be an issue between if you're one of the people or if you're a subject. Now, people are going to say this is crazy. Don't listen to this guy. This is sovereign citizen stuff, whatever. I'm going to show you the very laws, and I promise you, nobody will come on this video. Y'all know the government watch my page. Nobody, no attorney, no judge will come on this video and contest what the freak I say with real facts. And I'm going to make it so plain that nobody will ever trick you again. I promise you, it's game over. All right? So which one would you rather be? Thumbs up if you rather be one of the people. And then you can't do a thumbs down, but say a subject. If you rather be a subject of someone, right? That means a slave or a servant. Please tell me if you rather be that. Now, everybody share this all over the place because we're going to free all the people in the entire United States of America today. Okay? So the first thing I want to do is show you guys where you can find the power of the people. Josh, can you do me a favor and look up something?
Yep.
Let's look up Arizona Constitution, Article 2, Section 2. So we can just go to the Constitution and pull it up from there. Now, guys, I want somebody else to go to California Constitution, pull up Article 1, Section 1. So you're going to pull up the first article of the Declaration of Rights in California. Now, What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys the difference in status in your face where you can see it so nobody can ever trick you. I'm going to show you how to be the most powerful at all times. Now, if you're in your state constitution, you're going to find that you have liberty interests that exist nowhere else, okay? So in your state constitutions, in the California Constitution, Arizona Constitution, I'm going to show you. Then I'm going to show you the New Mexico Constitution, and it's going to blow your mind that your forefathers said that you guys are not bound by the government. Sounds crazy,
guys,
right?
Every state constitution
Every
applies
state.
to you.
That's right.
It doesn't matter what state you're in. So I know that's kind of confusing. I think there's some people
For the
like,
Bill of Rights or
yeah.
Declaration of Rights, all of those are your rights, and we'll prove it to you guys. Josh made an excellent point. Some people will say, well, if it says something in one state, that got nothing to do with us. No, that's not the case. Because the rights that are declared by the forefathers apply in different places. They just never told you, right? So we're going to look at this. Then we'll even prove it to you where they exist in different places. So watch this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to catch Josh's screen. I'm going to have Josh read because I want you guys to know that what is said is really said. Excuse me. What does it say, Josh?
All political power is inherent in the people.
All political power is inherent in the people. So guys, the government doesn't have all political power. The people have it. And government's what, Josh?
Governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed.
So the consent of the governed. Now guys, you are not the governed. You are the ones who created government for them to govern the people who work for government to make sure they don't do anything wrong. Now, what does the last part say, Josh?
And are established to protect and maintain individual rights.
Now, guys, attorneys will tell you this. They'll say, listen, when you have rights is when all the government officials come together. Can you pull up California Constitution? Mm-hmm. When all the government officials come together and vote, that's when you get to get your turn. And then the next 4 years, we get to get our turn. And whatever they vote for is going to be your rights. Guys, I'm going to tell y'all that is a freaking lie from the devil from hell. Guys, your rights have nothing to do with the vote. This Constitution we just showed you said that the government is only here to maintain individual rights. So when you tell them what your rights are and you declare what your rights are, and you let them know what status you are in as one of the people in Arizona or California, you have some guaranteed rights that they tried to hide from you, that if you stand on them, they swore by oath to never step on, right? Making sense? So, guys, understand that you have a status as one of the people that says you're free. Status as one of the people that says you have individual rights no matter what anybody else decide to do. You got a right to do stuff your own way. Let's see if this is true. We're going to look at California Constitution for good measure. Let me flip.
I assume that's what you wanted on.
Yes, sir. Now, we're going to look at Section 1, right? What does this say, Josh?
Article 1, Section 1. All people...
Wait. All people?
All.
Not just some people who work in government or nothing like that?
Not a handful.
Oh, okay.
A little bit.
All people what?
All people.
All
by
people.
By nature, free and independent.
By nature, free and independent. Guys, if you're free and independent, right? If you're free and independent, what are you free from? Can you be free and a slave at the same time?
You can't be free under a socialist country.
There you go. There you go. So, free and independent. If you're independent, are you independent from the government?
Yeah.
Yes. Right? And have inalienable rights. Mm-hmm. Among these are what?
Enjoying and defending life and liberty, acquiring, possessing, and protecting property.
It's your job to defend your life and liberty?
You mean you got a personal responsibility?
Oh, shucks.
That's insane, right?
So liberty means like you don't have to wear a mask. You don't have to get a shot. See,
I don't take a flu shot. I don't wear a mask. And I'm perfectly healthy. Imagine that.
There you go. Acquiring, possessing, and protecting property and pursuing and obtaining what? Safety?
Where are you at? Okay, yeah. Protecting property, pursuing and obtaining safety, happiness, and privacy.
Oh, you could be in the private? You have a right to be in the private?
Calling me.
You got a right to be in the private, right?
Guys, I'm going to tag David's, I'm going to share his on mine, all right?
So you got a right to be in the private, guys? Did y'all know you have a right to be happy, and if the government makes you unhappy, that you can actually remove yourself from their programs and jurisdiction. So I want you guys to understand something. I just proved to you guys that the law says you have the right to be free and independent, right? That's your right. So when the government makes a law, you're independent of that. You're not bound by their statute that tells their employees what to do, right? Now, some people will say, okay, well, David, that looks a lot different from how things are going in life. Yes, it does. Why? Because I'm going to show you guys my little pocket handy dandy constitution, right? Let me know if you can see this. We the people, right? The Constitution of the United States of America. Now, I want you guys to see something. So, what's happened here, guys, is that your state constitutions, if you say that you are one of the people of the state, that's one jurisdiction, right? We just saw that the people are free and independent, right? Did y'all not witness that? It said that the people are free and independent. Guys, if you're free, you are subject to no one, right? Now, I don't know if y'all know this, but you can actually be naturalized into a entity that is not government. If you look at the Mariana Islands, the Trust Islands, those are trust property of the United States. They naturalize those people into a trust. Now, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, and I'm going to show you how, under the United States Constitution, you have different rights where they make you a slave, a subject. Now, some people will say that sounds crazy, but that's only because they can't read. Look at this. Amendment number 14, Section 1. Watch this very closely, guys. It didn't say people. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States. Now, guys, I want you to understand something. When you are subject to the jurisdiction, that's totally different from saying all people are by nature free and independent. So in your state constitutions, it says clearly that all people are free and independent of everything. The government doesn't make rules for you. They make guarantees to you of what they're going to do. Now, let me show you even greater. I don't know if this is touchscreen. We're going to find out it's not. Watch this. Section 3. This is in California. The people have the right to instruct their representatives. Now, let's look here. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof. That means when the United States writes statutes, right, and codes, every single statute, code, and regulation is going to apply to those who are subjects to and of the United States. Now, people will say, David, that doesn't make sense that we can be subject to the United States. Well, I'm going to prove to you by the law, not what I just have to say, that they are making you subjects to the United States. Then, remind me, guys, I'm going to prove to you that the United States is not Arizona, not California, not New York, not New Jersey, right? Not Iowa. It's none of those, okay? Not Idaho. Watch this. I'm going to show you guys under Article 1, Section 8 of the United States Constitution what we as the people gave power for the Congress to do. And then I'm going to show you how they tricked you to destroy you and use powers against you that they do not have. I guarantee you, after you guys see this, you're going to understand why they want to make you subjects of the United States. And I'm going to show you why you're automatically considered in debt with them. And I'm going to show you how you lose all of your power to say that you are Arizonan, to say that you are from Michigan, a national from Michigan, one of the people, and you lose all your freedoms. Guys, I just showed you in California where it said you had the right to be free and independent. So why are they covering you and governing you with statutes as if you're not independent? Because under the 14th Amendment, they're presuming that you're a 14th Amendment citizen that is subject to the whole jurisdiction, everything they write. Now, where in the world did Congress get... Sorry, guys, a call tried to come in. Where in the world did Congress get this idea that they can write legislation for everybody and tell everybody what to do? Now, I'm not going to just tell you this, guys. I showed you in the Constitution, the 14th Amendment, where it says if you're a United States citizen, you're subject to the jurisdiction. That means everything these people write inside of United States, wherever that is, and I'm going to prove to you where it is, and I'm going to prove to you what they are. Everything they write, you're subject to. Now, Article 1, Section 8. Let's see if I can prove this or if I'm just talking. Article 1, Section 8, the Congress shall have the power, right? It's going to tell everything they got power to do. Watch this. To lay and collect taxes, duties, imposts, and excises, to pay, now watch this, to pay the debts and provide for the common defense and general welfare of what? The United States, right? So the United States, whatever it is, the United States has to pay the debts, and Congress got the power to handle that, right? To pay debts. If you gotta pay debts, doesn't that mean you're the freaking debtor? Right? You're a debtor if you have to pay debts. Remember the Bible, God says he will make his people the lender and not the borrower, right? The United States, the Congress, what else do? They borrow money on the credit of the United States. So if they are borrowing, doesn't that mean they are debtors? Right? If you gotta borrow, that means you got debt. To regulate commerce with foreign nations and among the several states and with the Indian tribes, right? Watch this. This one really going to get you. Remember I told y'all they can naturalize you? To establish a uniform rule of naturalization and uniform laws on the subject of bankruptcies. They're very good at that. Throughout the United States. So I'm going to show you guys where they are tricking you and where they feel that they can write legislation for you in every single case. And this is why in CPS court, Highway Safety Act court, Child Support Enforcement court, they are, yes, right, Anthony, they're borrowing on the back of their subjects and their ability to provide, to create future income. I prove to you that they are the debtors, and look at what these guys are doing. To exercise exclusive legislation in all cases whatsoever. So when you guys go into a case and you're claiming you're a United States 14th Amendment corporate citizen, now I'm saying corporate citizen, maybe I should show you where I get that from. Because the United States is simply a corporation that is a debtor. It's in freaking debt all the time. To exercise exclusive legislation in all cases whatsoever, watch this, over such District of Columbia, guys, that's the United States. I'm going to prove it to you. I'm not going to just say it. Over such district not exceeding 10 square miles, 10 miles square. So wherever this United States is, it's in District of Columbia. Now don't believe me, let me prove it to you with the law. As made by session of particular states, and the acceptance of Congress become the seat of government of the United States. Watch this. And to exercise like authority over all places, purchased by the consent of the legislature of the state, in which the same shall be for the erection of forts, magazines, arsenals, dock yards. See, this is where these people get this idea when they say, oh, I'm in dry dock in a court in a state. And other needful buildings, and other needful buildings, and other needful buildings. They're taking over jurisdiction in states by making states subsidiaries of the United States corporation. Now, people are going to say, David, that don't make sense. How is the United States a corporation? Well, let me show you. Watch this. I'm not going to tell you anything I can't prove. Let me pull it up for y'all. USC Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the law. Title 28, USC 3002, definitions, U.S. Code. Now, you guys tell me, oh, shucks. Sorry, guys. You guys tell me if I'm lying or if I'm telling the truth. Okay? Now, I'm showing you guys the difference between being a subject, a slave of the United States, or one of the people in a state that actually has freedom. So let's look at this. We're going to scroll down. Watch this. Court means any court created by the Congress of the United States, excluding the United States Tax Court. So when they tell you you're going into a court and they create all all legislation, look at this. Court means any court created by the Congress of the United States, excluding the United States Tax Court. Now, what I'm going to do is prove to y'all that the United States is tricking you into a slave position with a false jurisdiction where you're no longer free. Debtor means a person who is liable for a debt or against whom there is a claim for a debt. So they can take you into a court, say that you're a servant of the United States and you owe a debt, and then they legislate all of the cases through the legislature in Congress. So Congress writes out what the court case is going to be like, and then they use a legislative tribunal, and that legislative tribunal is only one that is created by the legislature. Guys, in the Constitution, we find that the United States Supreme Court was created by the people. In every state, the Supreme Court was created by the people and the other courts of the Constitution. So guys, tell me why court means anyone that was created by the legislature and it left out the one that was created by the people. Y'all see the difference? The people in the Constitution created what their courts were and where they get the highest level of protection by placing judicial power in that court. Now, let me show you, oh shucks. Let me show you what the United States means. Now, people will tell you the United States is the 50 states. No, it's not. The United States means a federal corporation. Now, I'm really going to blow you guys back out with the truth. What else does it mean? An agency like CPS, department, commission, you mean like the commissioners who are covering the CPS cases, the commissioners who are hiding in the superior courts in your different states, acting like they are government officials when they're working in a commission or a board like the nursing board, or any other entity of the United States or an instrumentality of the United States. The United States, guys, does not mean the land that you live on. The United States is a federal corporation or an agency. So they're bringing you into places, acting like you're going into courts where they know darn well that in those places that the Congress is exercising exclusive legislation in all cases whatsoever over such district not exceeding 10 square miles. So they're taking land in the real states. They're putting buildings there, right? Needful buildings. They're putting buildings there where they're saying that it is a subsidiary of the United States. And then what they do is put you in that jurisdiction where you no longer have power as one of the people who are free and independent. That's right, Marco Polo. These people who are voting and having issues don't realize that if you let somebody give you an affidavit that says you agree or you swear under the penalty of perjury under what's called Title 28 USC 1476. I'm going to show it to y'all. Now remember, guys, I just showed y'all that the United States is a debtor, right? It's in debt. It pays debts. It borrows money, right? 28 USC 1476. Now, in your affidavits, you have a choice of how you're going to show your unsworn declarations, your affidavits, or anything like that, how you're going to swear to it. Now I'm going to show y'all the deception and the tricks that attorneys are using to keep your affidavits from being able to be counted in a court of record, in an actual court of the people, and they're sliding you under a jurisdiction that is false. So I'm going to show you this, guys. Don't let them do this with your affidavits in a CPS court. Don't let attorneys do your affidavits for you, because a lot of times they'll trick you and give you the wrong one. And I'm going to prove it to you, not with me just speaking. I'm going to show it to you. Wherever, under any law of the United States or any, now look, notice this, under any law of the United States or under any rule, regulation, order, or requirement made pursuant to law, any matter is required or permitted to be supported, evidenced, established, or proved by sworn declaration, verification, certificate, statement, oath, or affidavit in writing of the person making the same, other than a deposition or an oath of office or an oath required to be taken before a specified official other than a notary public. So you know you can use a notary public. Such matter may, with like force and effect, be supported, evidence established, or proved by the unsworn declaration, certificate, verification, or statement in writing of such person which is subscribed by him as true under penalty of perjury and dated in substantially the following form. Now, guys, notice there's a difference between the United States and the United States of America. If executed without the United States, that means outside of the United States corporation. And I'm going to prove to y'all that's DC. I declare or certify, verify, or state under penalty of perjury under the laws of the United States of America, right? United States of America. That's going to be different than in the United States. See, if it's outside the United States, it's in the United States of America. That the foregoing is true and correct, executed on date, right? Now, this top one is outside of the United States, but it says the laws of the United States of America. There is a difference between the United States of America and the United States. Now, if executed within the United States, you know that one I told y'all is a debtor. Now, remember I showed y'all the Constitution where it said anything that they purchase or own, military bases and stuff. If executed within the United States, it's territories, possessions, or commonwealths. I declare, certify, verify, or state under the penalty of perjury that the foregoing is true and correct. Now, guys, if you're inside the United States, they tell you to do it different, but that also puts you under the jurisdiction of the District of Columbia. Now, some people say, no, David, that doesn't make sense. The United States is the 50 states. No, that would be the United States of America. If you're in one of the states of America, you are in the United States of America. If you are in the United States here, its territories or possessions, let's see where we can find that. To exercise exclusive legislation in all cases whatsoever over such district, not exceeding 10 square miles. That's talking about the United States, guys, as in the District of Columbia, 10 square miles. Now, people say, David, how can you prove that? Well, you remember, guys, we showed that the United States shall have the power to pay debts. The United States will have the power to pay the debts and to borrow money, making them the debtor, right? I'm going to show you guys how you can find, let me see, I'm going to show you with the commercial system that they use. Now, we want to know which one is the United States? The United States of America or that 10 square mile one that's off to the east, hanging off on the edge, that's not part of the United States of America? Let's see if there's a difference. Because I just showed y'all 10 square miles and all the places they buy.
Did you guys know that dead people only vote Democrat?
Oh, yeah, that's funny. Watch this. So we're going to look at Section 8, and we're going to look at where is the location of the debtor. Location of the United States, guys. I'm showing y'all where the United States is. It just said 10 square miles, right? The United States is located in the the District of Columbia. The United States is located in the District of Columbia, guys. And guess how big the District of Columbia is? 10 square miles. So the location of the debtor, I just proved to you guys, not with my own words, but I proved to you who the debtor is. Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes, duties, imposts, and excises to pay the debts and provide for the common defense of what? The United States. To borrow money on the credit of the United States. Guys, the United States is the debtor. The United States is the one who has the power to write exclusive legislation in all cases whatsoever over such district. What district? The District of Columbia, not exceeding 10 square miles. So guys, what's happening is that there is a way to write an affidavit. If your affidavit does not have an affiant, if your affidavit is under the jurisdiction of the United States, that is the one that's the debtor. And the one that the debtor is the one that they can attack or just drop as if it never happened, because they can legislate for those who are in the United States in all cases. What that means is that the legislature can say, in these cases, the power of the people do not count. In these places, they don't have. Somebody, if you can, please pull up the District of Columbia Bill of Rights. Pull that up for me. Somebody pull up the District of Columbia Bill of Rights. See, most people don't know this, but when they call this the thing a democracy, they're talking about DC. Because everything in DC is done by a vote, and whatever Congress says counts as what was voted for. That's why they have legislation in over all cases within the district 10 square miles. They write legislation for all the rule in DC. But when it comes to America, they don't write legislation like that. They don't do it that way. So guys, I want somebody to tell me, where do we find and what does it look like the Bill of Rights in DC? Can somebody help me find it? And I'm going to say this. The Constitution did not get suspended in 1999. And your state constitutions is where all your heavy liberty interests are anyway. I rarely use anything in the federal Constitution because I stand as one of the people in the state that I reside in. I inhabit. I live in. And so I don't use the United States Constitution a lot, because what happens is that they already want to presume that you're bound by the jurisdiction of the corporate United States. I just proved to you that the United States is in the District of Columbia. If you say you are a citizen of the United States, you are subject to the rule of the District of Columbia, which is not an American state. Okay? People can say, oh yeah, it's the District of Columbia. That's the only one that don't belong. It don't pay taxes. It's its own city state, right? Just like London, just like Rome. It's its own city state. It is here to provide services for us, but you don't want to be a subject of it. You want to be a national of a state or one of the people. That's right. Democracy is whoever the greatest number of people is will make the vote on what the law says. So you guys don't want to be bound by that. I'm going to show you that you are not governed by the government. You look over the government and watch over them to make sure that they are doing right. But they have deceived you out of your real jurisdiction. So when you do your affidavits, you want to do the one that your jurat and your verification, you wanted to say the laws of the United States of America, right? Without the United States. You don't want to say that you're inside the United States and in their jurisdiction. That would be a lie. And that will allow them to legislate if they want to count your affidavits as evidence. So around the country, all of you trying to tell that they defrauded you, they did wrong, and that they did voter fraud or some type of crazy thing, and you're trying to give the affidavits to Trump as we told everybody to do, and it's working very well. The courts have a different jurisdiction once you show that you are one of the people who had your rights violated. See, as one of the people, you are guaranteed a Republican form of government, and you are guaranteed that they will not violate your rights. Now, when you say that you're a subject of the United States, you don't have the same rights anymore. So it's a big, dirty trick. Now, some people say, well, no, I got the same rights in my state as I do in if I'm a citizen or a subject of the United States. No, you don't. Now, I'm going to show you. With New Mexico Constitution, I'm going to show you guys how you stand in your highest power, because nobody will show you this. So in the New Mexico Constitution, it's going to tell you how we, that's right, all 50 states and the District of Columbia is what they say, because they know it's not the freaking same. So I'm going to show you guys what the New Mexico Constitution says. So we're going to look at the Bill of Rights, Section 2. When your constitutional rights are being violated, you sue, Title 42. That's wrong. They're getting you to sue in what's called Title 42, 1983, right? And then they have the discretion if they're going to let you win the case or not. Why? Because Title 42 never passed. Somebody pull up Title 42 positive law. And what you're going to find out is they say that, what does court mean? Court means any court created by the legislature. Well, guess what? The Supreme Court was created by the people. News said Hunter Biden is a private citizen. He probably is, because he knows the difference between being a national, one of the people of a state in the private, and a government servant under the federal laws under the 14th Amendment. I'm going to show you guys real quick. The computer's going super slow. Okay. Now, this is the New Mexico Constitution. You guys tell me if you can see this. New Mexico Constitution, Bill of Rights. This is going to show you the standing you have as one of the people if you do your affidavits right. Watch this. Yeah, tons of people have won deprivation of rights under color of lawsuits, Daniel, when they control who wins, and they have to give you some victories or you won't believe in the system. So just because they give some people wins and they make money off of litigation does not mean you're standing in your highest capacity where they're forced to give you the victory. Big difference. Watch this. And if you want me to, I'll pull up Arizona statutes, and I'll prove to you that there's a certain way that your cases must go if you're one of the people compared to a corporate entity that's subservient to the state. So Daniel, keep that idea, and whoever liked the post, your post. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to explain why it's going to say what I'm going to show you in the Arizona statutes. And then I want you to tell me if they already know you're one of the people and you don't have a higher status where it has to be heard under the common law, why would they say this? So let's look here, guys. The people of the state have the sole, that means only, and exclusive, no one else can do it, right to govern themselves. Oh, of course, I know you'll say it's disinformation, but I'm going to prove in a second, and we'll see. I'm going to have to professionally, you must be an attorney then, right, if you want to professionally disagree with me. But then I want you to explain to the people when I show them what the ARS statutes say about if one of the people come in that capacity, what they have to do and what the court case decision has to be. And then I'll show that there's others for persons who are personnel of the government. So let's look. The people of the state have the sole and exclusive right to govern themselves as free, sovereign, and an independent state. Why does it say the people have the right to govern themselves, but the United States Constitution, 14th Amendment, says that they have exclusive legislation over all cases? Daniel, you can call me dude. I'm excited. I'm so happy for you to come on here and say that I'm wrong, because now I'm going to give you a beautiful chance to prove that I'm wrong. I don't know you, but we're going to have fun with you real quick. So everybody, we got Daniel on here. Everybody give Daniel a hand for coming on here and saying I'm wrong. That's so beautiful and so cute. So now we're going to see Mr. Daniel tell us what's the difference that the statutes have to tell that if one of the people come before them, what the decision in all cases will be. Everybody can pull it up for themselves to see if I'm lying. This is going to be ARS Statute 1-201. Mr. Professional Daniel, please explain this to us, okay? And please tell us if you're an attorney. Please come with full disclosure. Don't just come and say my professional opinion or professionally disagree. Please tell us who you are, right? So, Mr. Daniel, I'm going to show you a law, right? Everybody watch this. Let's see what Mr. Daniel has to say. Arizona Revised Statute 1-201. Now, it's obvious that if anybody walks in the freaking courtroom that they are a natural man breathing and living, right? It's easy to understand that if they're talking and moving that they're one of the people, right? Well, not necessarily. Let's see, Mr. Daniel. Watch this. The common law, Mr. Daniel, and somebody please pull up Black's Law 5 and tell us what common law says, 5th edition. And let's see if Mr. Daniel is coming with some fire or he wants that smoke. The common law, only so far as it is consistent with and adapted to the natural and physical conditions of the state. That means like real people, not corporations, ends, leagues, associations, trusts, government officials, and such. Consistent and adapted to the natural and physical conditions of this state and the necessities of the people thereof. I've been showing people all day, Mr. Daniel, which you just said this was disinformation. But right here, Mr. Daniel, it says that if it deals with the people thereof and their necessities, we're dealing with the common law jurisdiction, right? And not repugnant to or inconsistent with the Constitution of the United States. The Constitution of the United States is made from the common law, Daniel. Or the Constitution or the laws of this state. The Constitution of Arizona, Daniel, is made from the common law, and the laws of this state are made in pursuance to the Constitution, Daniel. That means that whatever the common law is agreeable to all of this, and it deals with the people. Or established customs of the people, Daniel, which is the common law of this state, is adopted and shall be the rule of decision in all courts of this state. Daniel, this tells me that when the people come in their right capacity, Daniel, that the court only has the choice to use the common law. It shall be the rule of decision in all courts of this state. Daniel, do you want me to hit you with some more fire and show you in the Constitution where this is said? See, Daniel, in the appeals court, in the superior court, and in the Supreme Court of Arizona, they are all to be courts of record. Daniel, in Black's Law 4, it would tell you that the court of record had 4.5 to 5 things, Daniel. One of those things would be a seal of the court, which is not used in CPS court and many other courts. Daniel, it also had to have a tribunal, that the one bringing the case, that is independent from the magistrate, Daniel, but you won't find that in Black's Law 5 or 6. That's where they removed it so the people wouldn't know. The court moved under the common law, Daniel. And if somebody puts up common law from Black's Law 5, Daniel, I'll prove to you right here that under a court of record, Daniel, it only moves under common law, not statutes or codes. So when you come before your statutory court, Daniel, and you say that this is all poppycock and that there's no difference between the people and there's no differences in status, Daniel, why does it say that if the people come, the physical ones that are natural, that the rule of decision in every court would have to be the common law, Daniel? Daniel, do you really want to come on here and talk this silly stuff? Why are you getting so quiet? Daniel, you ain't dealing with a novice here, my friend. I love you. But you really don't want to come on here talking that stupid stuff because I'll expose everything you attorneys been hiding. All right? So, Daniel, you know dang well as an attorney that there's more than one jurisdiction. And you want to say that I'm giving out disinformation, but you didn't prove where any of the laws that I said did not exist, where I said they exist, because I showed everybody at the time I was doing it. Mr. Daniel, you just said you're so brilliant that you're going to say it's poppycock, right? And it's not true. But then, Daniel, I just pulled out the law out of the top of my dome, Daniel. I didn't go research. I pulled it out of my head, showing you where there's a difference in the common law of Arizona, Daniel. The common law will be the decision in all cases. Now, I just proved to you that Congress said that they have rule and legislation over all cases whatsoever in the 10 square mile area and all their insular possessions and everything they buy. So, Mr. Daniel, what you're going to find is that the Title 42 CPS court, the Title 42 Child Support Enforcement Court, Daniel, it is all written by legislation of the Congress that was not passed. Anybody who is worth their salt can pull up right now Title 42. I'll put it in if you want me to, Daniel. You're getting real quiet. You were such a great attorney a second ago. Watch this, guys. You missed a part of it. Oh, watch this. The body of law derived from judicial decisions rather than those, the statutes or constitutions, case law. Now, that is a partial one. That's the pocket edition. The one that is not the pocket edition will start off and tell you common law as distinguished from laws made by legislatures. Anything written by the legislature is not common law, Daniel. Daniel, open up the 5th edition of common law and go return your lawyer's license and make them pay you back, because a dummy from Detroit who never went to law school just proved to you in front of everybody that you freaking, in your professional opinion, don't know the law. Okay? So the next time you come on a video trying to talk silly, realize that a dummy who understands plain English and the Constitution will run laps around you every day of the week in your professional opinion. All right? So, guys, this is what happens when attorneys try to fight us. We open up the real law and they have to shut the freak up because they really just learn procedure and rules. Now, these rules and procedures that these lawyers learn, guys, they only learn the rules that were made for government. Now, he gonna say I'm lying. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take y'all to Article 1, Section 8 in the Constitution. Article 1, Section 8. We see that the legislature can write legislation to exercise exclusive legislation in all cases whatsoever in their districts. That's 10 square miles. Yeah, he ran. I like that motorcycle on your page, Daniel. You probably jumped on it and took off real quick. He's like, I can't hear the engine's too loud, right? Watch this. The Congress has the power to make rules for the government and regulation of land and naval forces. Now, Mr. Daniel, I will pay you $1,000 if you can show me where in Article 1, Section 8 that the government has the power to make rules for all the people. Now what I'm going to do extra for you, Daniel, is I'm going to show you in the Supreme Court of the United States, I'm going to show you, sir. Oh, look at what Shannon wrote. This is so beautiful. Title 42, positive law. Watch this. The distinction is legally significant. Non-positive law titles are prima facie evidence of the law, but positive law titles, the one actually passed by Congress, constitute legal evidence of the law in all federal and state courts. So, Title 42 has never passed. These silly attorneys, probably including Daniel, will bring you to court arguing Title 42, which Title 42 is exactly where they put the deprivation of rights cases for, right? Title 42, 1983 claim. Title 42 never passed, sir. And if you pull up Title 42, positive law, you can see on on Google, where the United States House.gov website, do y'all want me to pull it up, tells you that Title 42 is non-positive law, meaning it never passed. Okay? It's an editorial compilation, which means they could have changed it. Daniel, don't ever come on my page again acting stupid unless you're going to bring some law and show some facts. Okay? Bring the law, Daniel, and show facts. Now, guys, if there is a status of one of the people, guys, if you have a status as one of the people and they have to use common law, which one would you rather be in, guys? If common law doesn't come from the statutes and codes, that means they can't prosecute you with the statute or code if you come as one of the people, because you're not bound by that, right? If you are doing wrong and you kill somebody under the common law, a jury of your peers will prosecute you. A jury of your peers. Now, a lot of these guys are going to come out. That was the pocket constitution, Cynthia. The Constitution of the United States, little small book, right? See, these attorneys don't really know the law, and they're just telling us stuff. And they feel like because they've been to school, they can tell us what to do. They can tell us how smart they are. And they can say, oh, well, if you don't get one of us, you're a fool. But this dude came on and got his head cracked in 5 seconds talking about his professional opinion. And it wasn't that professional. Let's look at what Shannon just says. By contrast, Title 42, the Public Health and Welfare, watch this, is a non-positive law title. Now, they're going to lie here. The Title 42 is comprised of many individually enacted federal statutes. No, it's not. Because it's editorially compiled, they can change it, so it's not the same anymore. Such as the Public Health Service Act and the Social Security Act, that have been editorially compiled and organized into the title. Editorially compiled means that it could have been changed, but the title itself has not been enacted. Mr. Attorney, please come back here and talk some more junk so we can play with you a little bit more, because this is kind of fun when attorneys come on here with all their schooling and spending all their money trying to make us feel like we're stupid. Sir, I'm going to take you to Title I, General Provisions, and I'm going to show you that Arizona and every other state and the United States only takes ens legis entities to court. And you as attorneys represent the entities because you can't be a lawyer over a man, and that's why you can't fight for our rights. Isn't that right, Mr. Attorney? I'm going to take everybody to Arizona Statutes 1-215, and we're going to look at definitions, and we're going to find out what person means. Because every freaking statute, other than the one I showed you that said people, goes after what we call persons. Daniel, please come back. Daniel, I'm sorry. Please come back, my friend. Please. Okay, watch this, guys. Action includes any matter or proceeding in a civil or in a court, civil or criminal.
Don't hurt him too hard.
Yeah, I was trying to get him to come back. He took off too quick. Yeah, but them attorneys bad as heck until they got to talk to somebody, right? Who understands the law, right? Now, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to show you the definition of person, because every freaking court is going after persons. Let's look at minor. Minor means a person under the age of 18 years. Did it say one of the people? Watch this. Magistrate means an officer having the power to issue a warrant for the arrest of a person charged with a public offense. Did it say private, guys? Public offense, and includes the Chief Justice and Justices of the Supreme Court, judges of the Superior Court, judges of the Court of Appeals, justices of the peace, and judges of a municipal court, right? They can arrest persons, right? Now, what I want to do is show you guys what person means, which is a totally different jurisdiction from people, okay? They said in every court case for one of the people, you have to use the common law, right? Person including a corporation, company, partnership, firm, association, or society, as well as a natural person. Guys, that doesn't mean people, right? When the word person is used to designate the party whose property may be subject to a criminal or public offense.
I'm not a person.
Oh yeah, watch this.
I'm not a person.
I'm going to show y'all something so devastating that it's going to shock the whole country. Now, guys, they call you a United States citizen, which means you are bound by the jurisdiction of the United States under the 14th Amendment off rip. They naturalize you into a corporate subject. Now, I'm going to prove to you that the property they take from you is only because you're a United States citizen and not one of the people. Watch this. When the word person is used to designate the party whose property may be the subject of a criminal or public offense, the term includes, guess what, guys? The United States, this little s state, or any territory, state, or country, or any political subdivision of the state that may lawfully own property, or a public or private corporation or partnership or association. When the word person is used to designate the violator or offender of any law, it includes corporation, partnership, or any association. Guys, did that sound like people? See, attorneys talk that dumb junk until you smack them with what's in the real law. So guys, I just showed y'all that if it's one of the people, you have to use the common law. In the common law, guys, it says that they have to give you a jury of your peers, and they cannot use statute or code to prosecute you. Right? They have to say that you did wrong, and then the freaking people have to agree you did wrong, and they use the power of the people to prosecute you by a jury of your peers. Now, guys, I'm showing you the difference between how they've been tricking us to remove our highest status. As one of the people, they have to use the common law. And I showed you in the freaking statute. I didn't pull that out of a hat. I didn't pull it out of my rear end. I didn't tell you to trust me. I showed you exactly where it was. Everybody make sure you rip this video, because we're going to defeat these people. We're going to stop them from taking over the nation. We're going to know the difference between the United States District of Columbia and the Congress that runs them, and the United States of America, the 50 states that we are part of, that we have full power in, that the government does not rule over us. Okay? Where did that guy go? What was his name again? Daniel, in his Daniel Professional Opinion. Where did that guy go? I told y'all, y'all can bring any judge, attorney, or any other so-called gangster on this much you want to, and I guarantee you they're going to get that smoke, and they're not going to like it, right? And I say this humbly, because this is God's knowledge and wisdom. But I want you guys to see that when these people come, right? When these people come and you use the real law, they shut the freak up and run, right? Somebody just showed you guys above how when you use the public law that Congress made, you can erase all the cases in every federal and state court that exists, because these federal and state courts are using administrative statutes that don't apply to the people, and they're calling you a person, giving you a ens legis, a legal entity, natural person or association, trust, business, where you're under their statutory rule, and then they will not allow you to be where they will not allow you to be one of the people using the common law. So I just showed you guys how to demand and take the common law jurisdiction where they can no longer prosecute you with statutes or codes. Nobody else, I'm sure, ever shows you all these things together at once. A lot of people say a lot of stuff like, hey, this is the law. Trust me. No, don't trust me. God says don't trust me. God says study to show yourself approved. God says prove all things. Hold fast to that which is good. Yeah, he wanted to cast doubt, but you see how fast he looks silly trying to, and this is, look, there's people who are hired, guys, to go against me, who helped Epstein, who come on Facebook and all they do is say, don't trust David Jose, don't trust anything he says, deny everything he says, right? Stay away from it. They do that because they're trying to keep the system going, and what we're doing is destroying the system. Y'all want me to show y'all jurisdiction again? I can show y'all the difference between people and persons inside of a statute in the Constitution. I'm sorry, inside of the Constitution, not a statute. Please forgive me. I didn't mean to say that. I apologize. Please humbly forgive me. Now, he is asking people to join his group. Daniel is. Yeah, everybody blocked Daniel because Daniel's one of those sneaky clowns who can't argue in public. He just got his anus embarrassed within 2 minutes. He came here and said what I'm saying is disinformation. Then he freaking runs and hides. He don't want to argue in front of y'all. He wants you to join his group so that he can tell you lies behind the scenes. He don't want y'all to be free. Now, if you believe in freedom, yes, I'm in Arizona, you'll do everything out in the open. So now I'm going to prove to you guys the difference between, yeah, he's an agent, between the people and personnel, who's restricted and who's not. Y'all know those mask mandates they try to give y'all, where they're trying to force y'all to take shots and you don't know how to stop it. You really want to end it, but they're running these federal programs for COVID on you. You want to get stuff right, but you don't know how. Watch this. Watch this. Supreme law of the land to exercise sovereign authority. There's sovereign authority that the state has, guys, but they never explain to you what the sovereign authority is. I'm going to tell you what it is. Against federal action, use of government personnel and financial resources. Y'all see this word personnel?
Cast your vote.
Personnel, if you got rid of part of it, it would say person, right? Watch this. Everybody pay close attention. The Constitution, now, everybody, they try to tell you that all of us are bound by the Constitution. All of us are bound by the laws of the federal laws and the state laws. Guys, that is 100% not the truth. The Constitution of the federal and the state are the highest laws, right? All the statutes are made subservient to that and must be in pursuance of the Constitution. Watch this. The Constitution of the United States is the supreme law of the land, to which all who? What's that word say? Did it say all the people? Oh, no, it didn't say people. To which all government state and federal, is subject. Guys, who's subject to the Constitution? Is it all the people of America? No. All government, state and federal, is subject to the Constitution. Now, I'm going to show you guys the two statuses again because they tried to hide it from you. And this guy tried to come on and say I was lying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you straight to the Constitution and prove to you that there is a status of the people who have all freedom that can't be touched. And there is the status of a person who is government personnel who doesn't have all freedom because they swore an oath that they will protect the people's freedom. Therefore, their freedom can be restricted. They can be restricted, but not us. So let's look. To protect the people's freedom. So what's the goal of this section, guys? Section B, the goal is to protect the people's freedom. Remember that. Protect the people's freedom. Now, if you got to protect the people's freedom, you can't restrict the people's freedom because that's what you're there for, to protect it. Their individual rights, not the rights that the government says you have, the rights that we declare we have. To protect the people's freedom and to preserve the checks and balances of the Constitution of the United States, of the United States Constitution, this state, talking about the state of Arizona, may exercise its sovereign authority. So it got some sovereign authority, right, y'all? But what is this sovereign authority? To restrict the actions of its what, y'all? Can y'all see that word right there? It's what? Restrict the actions of its personnel. So you have to give the people freedom and protect it. And at the same time, you can restrict the actions of your personnel. I wonder if that's why every statute in your freaking state pretty much says any person who does this, any person who does that. They try to force you to wear a mask, guys, and they say that any person who don't wear a mask is guilty, right? Well, if they say any person who doesn't wear a mask is guilty, are they talking about you as the people, or are they talking about the persons? Watch this. To restrict the actions of its personnel. So the state can exercise its sovereign authority to restrict those who work for them. They can restrict the action of their personnel. Now, some people still might not be convinced, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, Daniel, please come back, Daniel. Quit trying to recruit people to your little funky group, Daniel, and come fight. Come fight like a man, Daniel. Man up. Daniel, gird up your loins and fight like a man. We got to pull Paul out the Bible out. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go again for Mr. Daniel, because Daniel tried to come get that smoke for 2 minutes, and then he didn't be, he was no longer a good attorney anymore. Hey, everybody, join my broadcast. Go against this guy. Guys, he didn't look very good before y'all, did he? He didn't look like he had that much fight in him, right? So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to go to 26317, ARS, and in every state, guys, they're trying to force you to wear masks. They're trying to tell you, yeah, I know, the way my license, my law degree is set up, right? So, guys, they tell you that if you don't follow the mandates, that you are no longer following the law, and they get to regulate you. And if they gave you a lawful order, you got to follow, where it's a class 1 misdemeanor or whatever they want to say. So, guys, I'm going to prove to you that this attorney who just came on was a freaking dummy, right? I'm going to prove to you that the word person does not mean one of the people. And I'm going to prove to you that person is people who are working in the public as government personnel, right? Now, thank you so much, Randy. Much love, dear sister. Watch this. Here's Arizona Revised Statute, azledge.gov, ARS 26-317. 26-317, violation clarification. For the whole freaking Arizona, guys, they're going to try to make it look like they're making a statute for you. Let's see if when they talk about person, does it mean people? Now, guys, when I say any person in a statute, if every man and woman in the state is a person, who would that leave out? Right? It's all God, Dean. I'm nothing. I'm a nobody, but it's God. Watch this. Any person who violates any provision of this chapter. Now, that'll make every man and woman, because they say the word person means man or woman, neutral gender. Any person who violates any provision of this chapter, or who knowingly fails or refuses to obey any lawful order or regulation issued as provided in this chapter shall be guilty of a class 1 misdemeanor. Now guys, they said every person who don't follow would be guilty of a class 1 misdemeanor, right? So doesn't that mean that everybody is bound? So if you come right after that and say that anybody is exempt, then that means that the word person does not mean every man or woman. Person means something else. So let's see what this says. This provision does not apply to the refusal of any private organization or member thereof to participate in a local emergency or state of emergency as defined in this chapter. This guy is trying to say that I'm talking crazy. But I just proved with the statute that the word person does not include all the people and everybody. Anybody who's part of a private association or organization or a member thereof, or any private organization or a member thereof, is considered exempt. It don't apply to them, right? So if something don't apply to you, but it applies to all persons, any person, that means that if you're part of a private organization, you're not a person. See, anybody who's in the private is not doing public offenses, right? Didn't I show y'all that the criminal law just said any person who is doing a public or criminal act, right? They're not telling you there's a difference between the private and the public. They ain't telling you that there's a difference between people. What's up, Sean, man? How you doing, sir? It's good to see you. So the thing is, guys, what we're going to see, even in Arizona statute, that there is a difference in the definitions between people and persons. Watch this. Actually, Yvette, I talk about trafficking every day and deal with that every day. So I'm not talking about it today because I'm dealing with a specific issue over the stolen presidency and the fraud. But after this video, I'll be right back on talking about CPS trafficking and showing you guys. We're at 74, you too, sir, or my friend. We're at 74 kits returned using affidavits with the right jurisdiction right now. So watch this, guys. So we're going to look up magistrate means an officer having the power to issue the warrant for the arrest of a person charged with a public offense. Public offense. Why do you think they said that in the private, any private member is not bound of a private association, is not bound by the whole emergency powers section of their statutes? The magistrate can only make an arrest of somebody doing a public offense. When you are in the public, that's different from being in the private. And person includes any corporation, company, partnership, firm, association, or society, as well as a natural person, which is not really a man or a woman, one of the people, right? When the word person is used to designate the party whose property may be subject of a criminal or public offense, the term includes the United States, this state, any political subdivision or territory. Guys, what they're showing you is that they, yes, sir, whenever you're ready. If you could get signal out, we could talk. I know we ain't talking in a while. And I know y'all kicking butt, doing y'all thing. So I know you get busy. But if you get signal out, we can holler whenever you're ready. So guys, what you'll understand here is that the United States Constitution clearly tells they can make legislation over all cases within that 2 square miles, right? They don't make legislation over the people who are on the land, right? And then I just proved to you guys that anytime the people have an issue, that the people stand, when the physical people come in, the court is forced to use common law, but it's only if you present yourself as one of the people. This is why when I create my affidavits or I come into a place that they're calling a court, I create a record that I have on my own outside of them where I require them to move under the common law. You should share it like crazy. So I'm going to prove it one more time for the people who just got here. Common law. People say common law don't exist no more, right? People say you can't get a court that recognizes common law. That's a lie. 1-201, adoption of common law. Now, them adopting common law ain't got nothing to do with common law being required. I'm going to show y'all in the Constitution where common law is required under another name. The common law, only so far as it is consistent with and adapted to the natural and physical conditions of this state. Natural and physical conditions mean we're not talking about ends legis, corporations, associations, and stuff like that they take to court all the time. And the necessities of the people thereof. That means when you want a court of record, you need to let them know, declare, right, affirm that you are one of the people and not a person, not a government worker, none of that. And not repugnant to or inconsistent with the Constitution of the United States, which was made from the common law, or the Constitution or the laws of this state, which the Constitution of this state is made off the common law, or the laws of this state, or established customs of the people in this state, which is the common law, is adopted. So the common law is adopted and shall be the rule of decision in all courts of this state. Now, I'm going to show y'all in the Arizona Constitution where it is demanded that we have a court under common law. And I'm sorry to give y'all so much, but I have to break this down so it soaks into your mind. I see people asking certain questions, so I have to explain it so it's clear. And this is what I do. There's a lot of people who used to teach the law, and then they would not tell you where they found certain things. So the Bible says, prove all things, hold fast to that which is good. So if God tells you to prove all things, you can't listen to a law teacher who will never show you anywhere where what you're trying to say is at. Right? Now, in the Bible, we see where God said if there was a problem, to take it to a person one-on-one. That's why I do affidavits. I am talking to them in the private one-on-one. Then the Bible says bring her one or two other witnesses. This is why I either do a notice or an affidavit where I'm showing them what the wrong is, and I have a witness in the form of a notary, and I'm giving them the chance in the private to fix the issue, right? Now, let's look here. All political power is inherent in the people, and governments derive their just powers from the consent of the governed. Not the people, but the ones who they are governing. They're not governing the people govern themselves. And are established to protect and maintain individual rights. So we have individual rights, guys, that the government cannot bypass. So what we need to do is we need to look and see what those individual rights are. Now, what I'm going to tell you is those individual rights are the common law. Now, people say, no, David, it's not the common law. The common law isn't written anywhere. And I'm going to say it's not written anywhere if you don't know where it's written, right? It's not written anywhere if you don't know what it is and you don't know where it's written. Now, how can I prove this? Here's due process of law. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Where did that come from, guys? You can't have your life taken away from you or your freedom taken away from you unless you have due process of law. Didn't we see in the Bible where Paul appealed to Caesar and he told the people, look, has it ever been done this way that somebody who belongs, somebody who is actually a subject of Caesar or belongs to Caesar can be treated this way, right? He used the common law. He said, look, you can't take my life without the king hearing it, right? And they stopped and like, oh, shucks, right? Now we got to let the king hear it, right? If we look at the right of petition and of the people, once again, that status, peaceably to assemble for the common good shall never be abridged. See, if we want to come together as the people who own the property, we don't have to have a freaking permit to come on the property that we own. Now, where can we see that? Did Jesus not tell us to go and assemble? When it comes to the church, it talks about we shall not forsake the assembling of ourselves. We have a direct demand from God not to forsake the assembly. You can see in the Bible where it talks about your conscience, right? And how you go against your conscience and your heart and how God is a greater judge, right? No person shall be disturbed in his private affairs or home invaded without the authority of law. That's part of common law, guys. This is what the people declared before the government even had a such thing of something called a statute. So that means the government can't come in your house if there's no law that says you've done something wrong against somebody or harmed somebody. They can't affect you in your private affairs. This is all the common law. You know how they want to take you into private CPS courts and they want to take you into private places for CPS and have these long cases where they're making money off the case? Justice in all cases shall be administered openly. They can't run a private court and without necessary delay. This is the Arizona Declaration of Rights in the Arizona Constitution, right? Now, guys, I'm showing you stuff that is the common law that people never show you because they say it doesn't exist anywhere, right? But I'm telling you, no, it does exist. No, it's right here in front of your face, and nobody can run you over and say you don't have these rights. Now, y'all want to talk about elections? You want to know where you have power to make an affidavit in Arizona and you can destroy any government ability to hide the case? Watch this. All elections shall be free and equal, and no power, civil or military, shall at any time interfere to prevent the free exercise of the right to suffrage. So if you're going to have an election, you're 100% right, Sean Man. There is no accuser in these freaking courts. Now, Sean Man just hit something super deep, and Sean is an expert in common law. I'm going to show y'all, along with what Sean said, how they're wrong. Watch this. Trial by jury. The right to trial by jury shall remain inviolate. That means there is no case that you can have where you're not given a jury. This is where Sean Man just hit. Watch this. Right of accused in criminal prosecutions. In criminal prosecutions, the accused shall have the right to appear and defend in person and by counsel, not an attorney, counsel, to demand the nature and cause of the accusation against him, to have a copy thereof, right? So they got to give a true bill. They got to give a copy of what it is that they say you did wrong. Somebody had to swear you did wrong. Watch this. To have a copy thereof, to testify it on his own behalf, to meet, now notice, to testify in his own behalf. Did it say to let attorneys speak for you and tell everything that happened? To testify in his own behalf, to meet the witnesses against him face to face, to have compulsory process to compel attendance of witnesses in his own behalf, to have a speedy public trial by an impartial jury of the county in which the offense is alleged to have been committed, and the right to appeal in all cases, and in no instance shall the accused person before final judgment be compelled to advance money or fees to secure the rights herein guaranteed. Guys, that is not what they're doing in many of the cases, right? That is not what they're doing. And so the sad thing is they're not telling us what our real rights are. Here's another one, guys. You can find treason in the Bible. Treason against the state shall consist only in levying war against the state or adhering to its enemies. Now, guys, I want you to know that the people are the ones who are the state, not the government officials. They are just the servants of the people. That's when they take you to court, they have to use the name of the state. They say the state of Arizona versus, or the name, in the name of the people of the state of Arizona versus, right? Or adhering to its enemies. Guys, if somebody is taking you to a court where there's nobody who is actually your accuser, and they are just what's called adversarial parties, that means they're your enemies. So when CPS comes to court and tries to take your kid, and they are attacking one of the people, that's actually treason against the people for all the parties who are helping them, or in giving them aid and comfort, right? So if they're giving aid to people who are trying to commit treason, or trying to take from the people, that's what treason is. So last thing I'm going to show you guys, they say, last two things. They say, look, we don't have to give you what the Constitution says. The provisions of this Constitution are mandatory, unless by express words they are declared to be otherwise. Guys, the Constitution is mandatory in the states. Watch this. Reservation of rights. the enumeration, just because I put out, number out, speak out these rights that I do have, in this Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny others retained by the people. So when you see a good Bill of Rights or a good Declaration of Rights in another state's constitution and you like it, and you realize that that's your right, like to hold the people accountable who are in government, and you're not going to just let them run amok, you have the power, guys, to declare your right in one of the other state constitutions. And the United States already gave full faith and credit to what it is that was placed in the other constitutions when it comes to rights. So, guys, I wanted to tell you that you have the highest, you have the highest position as one of the people. God made you equal with every other man. God gave you the power to declare things. If you look at Genesis chapter 1, verse 26 in the King James Bible, you'll clearly see where God tells you that he gave the people, man, dominion over the fish of the sea, the birds of the air, the creeping, crawling things on the ground, and everything on the land, all the cattle and everything. So God gave you dominion, and what these government workers have been doing is tricking you out of your dominion by naturalizing you as a subject to the United States corporate entity, right? Now, what's funny, guys, we saw an attorney come on here talking that foolishness. Oh, this is disinformation. They've been watching my page, guys. They knew I was going to do a video today. I announced it. But what you clearly see is the guy came on here, started talking about his disinformation for a few seconds, and then I said, no, let's go look at the law, me and you, in front of everybody, and he ran. This is what the attorneys and judges do now, because when somebody understands God's word and somebody understands the law, y'all have witnessed me go before the sheriff, the Supreme Court Justice of Arizona. Y'all saw me use trust law arguments against him, and he came out and told that the legislature is the one writing these statutes to go after people and take their kids. He said, it's not the judiciary, guys. We're doing the best we can. It's the legislature. Get them to fix this. It's legislative tribunals, just like I told y'all. Now, some people will say, no, there's no such thing of a legislative tribunal. Listen, the Supreme Court was created by the people in the Constitution of the United States. Can y'all show me where the federal court came from? Y'all heard of the Judiciary Act, right? Where did the Judiciary Act come from? Did it come from the voice of the people, or was it the legislature? Now I'm going to show y'all in the Constitution. So you see I ain't making up nothing. I'll show everything I say. So the Congress has the power to do what? To make rules for the government and regulation of the land and naval forces. So all these rules they have and they're telling you and regulations you got to follow, that's actually for the naval forces and the land forces. But let's look at another one. What else can Congress do? To constitute, that means they're creating them with a constitution or association, articles, or organization. To constitute tribunals inferior to the Supreme Court. So guys, when you see these new courts popping up, realize that I just showed y'all in the statute where it says, what's the definition of a court? Oh, the United States court. Any court created by Congress. Right? Any court created by Congress. So guys, they define that as the United States. So look, we got to realize, guys, that we have different statuses that we must be under. And we have to declare what status we're coming in. The government can't do it for us. An attorney definitely ain't going to do it for you, because the attorney cannot stand as a man and declare your status for you. They will cheat all day and night and get you to sign an affidavit under the penalty of perjury, under the laws of District of Columbia, and make you think that you're writing an affidavit that can work in any other state. It does not exist. You will not stand on your power as one of the people. I'll show you guys one more time before I get off, because I'm making another point and I don't want to say anything that I cannot prove. So we're going to look at Title 28, USC 1476. No, 1746, I'm sorry. And we're going to look at unsworn declarations, affidavits, and all that good stuff. Shucks, where'd it go? Sorry, guys. This thing is so like fidgety. Like if you touch it lightly, it'll mess up. Okay, so let's look at this. I'm gonna show you one more time, and then I'm gonna let you guys go. You can have this video. Anybody who wants to rip this video, you can rip it. Do not cut it into pieces and make me say stuff I didn't say. 28 USC 1746, unsworn declarations under the penalty of perjury, and it's more than just unsworn declarations. But guys, we are doing affidavits showing that we have seen election fraud. Do not get caught putting together documents under the wrong jurisdiction. Wherever under any law of the United States or under any rule, who can they make rule for? The government and the armed and naval forces. Regulation or order or requirement made pursuant to law, any matter is required or permitted to be supported. Now, Fourth Amendment, it must be supported by oath or affirmation. Evidence, you want real evidence? This is going to show you how to do it. Established or proved by the sworn declaration, verification, certificate, statement, oath, or affidavit in writing of the person making the same, other than a deposition or oath of office or oath required to be taken before a special official other than a notary public, such matter may, with like force in effect, be supported, evidence established, or proved by the unsworn declaration, certificate, verification, or statement in writing. Now, if you want to do this perfectly, you want to do it the common law way. But I'm going to show y'all. In writing of such person which is subscribed by him as true under the penalty of perjury and dated in substantially the following form. Now, what's going to happen is they're going to show you how they're going to legislate if you're in the 10 square mile district of the United States, which is the District of Columbia. How do you do it? If executed without the United States. How to do it if you're outside of District of Columbia, and how to do it if you're in the District of Columbia or any of its territories, possessions, and commonwealths. If executed without the United States, outside, I declare or certify, verify, or state under penalty of perjury under the laws of the United States of America, which is different from the United States, that the foregoing is true and correct, executed on. If executed within the United States, which is the District of Columbia, the 10 square miles, I proved it earlier, is territories, possessions, or commonwealths, I declare certify, verify, or state under penalty of perjury that the foregoing is true and correct, executed on date. Now, guys, you probably should go look up that public law, but what I'm showing you is there is a difference. There is a difference. He still asking you to join him? Yeah, that's funny. The guy didn't want to fight in front of everybody. He wanted to go coerce y'all or trick y'all into coming into a little private place where he's going to try to unteach y'all the truth, because they understand we're destroying the whole deep state, the whole swamp. We're killing them now spiritually with affidavits proving that they committed fraud, and as the people we stand higher. So the one on the top, guys, see, it talks about being the laws of the United States of America. So there's a difference between the United States of America. I hope you guys can see. As a matter of fact, let me just get votes or thumbs up if you can understand now clearly that there's a difference between the status of the people and the status of a person. Please give me a thumbs up. If you can understand that there's a difference between the people receiving justice under the common law, which has nothing to do with what the legislature wrote, as we showed in the comments and above, compared to being a person who is under the jurisdiction of the United States, please give me a thumbs up, right? So I got a 10-second delay, so if I get thumbs up, I understand that I taught enough. You guys understand, everything is clear. I'm going to go ahead and get off the video. So, guys, please let me know if this makes sense to you. We are writing affidavits nationwide, and we're putting them in the correct format. Now, an affidavit, in order to be correct, must have an affiant. The affiant is the person who's giving firsthand knowledge of the facts. Also, there must be oath or affirmation, must be sworn under the penalty of perjury. You want what's called a jurat, meaning that on the document is showing that it's sworn. It is not an acknowledgement. A person or a government official can witness what you wrote, but you're not saying it's true. That's called an acknowledgement. You don't want an acknowledgement because it doesn't stand in any court. So in some states where they say, hey, look, these people said that they saw this or that, and the court says, we ain't got to pay attention to that, it's not sworn. I just showed you guys in the common law where you get to have the evidence against you in any court, and there must be something made under oath or affirmation saying you did wrong. The Fourth Amendment says no warrant shall issue unless there's probable cause, something probably happened, and it is supported by oath or affirmation. Somebody swears that something wrong happened to them. So, guys, this is the real truth. Attorneys will get you to sign as if you're in the United States. The United States is the District of Columbia. The United States is a foreign corporation. The 14th Amendment tells you that if you are born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof, see, all the states say that you are free and independent. The power is in the people. The people govern themselves and have the sole and exclusive right. It said nothing. It said nothing about you being subjects. All right. The only time you see you being a subject is in the 14th Amendment of the Federal Constitution. So, guys, I'm giving this truth to you. I'm letting you have it. This is our chance to stand and save our nation, guys. If we don't do something, we're going to lose it. So it's your choice. Do you want to win and show that we the people, we refuse to not stand on our power as the people? Guys, I shown you where in the Arizona Constitution you have the right to free elections with no interference, and y'all got ran over. We all got ran over, and they had elections with obvious fraud, and we witnessed fraud, and that's why we have to put it in affidavits as the people, because we have the right to have free and clean, legit elections. All right? So anyway, I want to thank you guys for coming on. I want to say I love you guys. I hope that you understand what you saw in the video. I showed you guys all facts. Y'all see what happens when an attorney or a judge or anybody comes on one of my videos talking stupid, trying to say that we don't know what we're talking about? It ain't gonna happen that way. Shannon got something good. Shannon been posting some fire. Everybody make sure that you look at Shannon Camp Garrett's post. Section 10, general warrants of search and seizure prohibited. The general warrants whereby an officer or messenger may be commanded to search suspected places without evidence of a fact committed, or to seize any person or persons not named or whose offense is not particularly described and supported by evidence, are grievous and oppressive and ought not to be granted. You see that? Under the common law, they can't just make warrants to arrest you and just say, arrest anybody who does this. You need to freaking have proof that somebody did wrong with evidence, sworn under the penalty of perjury, and telling who did what, or it ain't legit. All right? So anyway, I thank you guys for coming on. Share this video like crazy. Please rip this video. Somebody get me a copy of it. I'm going to go ahead and put it on YouTube if I can, if the Lord wills. And we'll put the video. Thank you, Prancing Tiger. And I'll put it on library.tv if the Lord wills. Hey, no big deal, Prancing Tiger. But guys, I love the heck out of you. We're not going to fall as a nation if we stand under God and stand by the power He gave us to have dominion. So I'm going to teach y'all the real law every day, day in, day out. Every time I get a chance to be on here, I'm not going to come with bull crap. I'm not going to come guessing. I'm not going to come with myths and ideas where I say, hey, this is the law, and just believe me because I say so. No, I'm going to show you where it is. I'm going to show you where it's said. And nobody who is in government is going to be able to argue. They're just going to say disinformation is dumb. But they definitely ain't freaking coming with some smoke where they going to come face to face and show where something is. It's cool if you don't want Trump to win, but that's your choice. But the problem is I just don't like unfair elections. I don't like people to cheat. So I don't care who you vote for, who you choose, but I don't choose fraud. I don't choose them trampling the people's rights. So that's what I'm against. So Biden ain't gonna win. Biden gonna lose, but you can choose whoever you want to. I don't tell people what to do. Trump is a businessman running a corporation. The United States is a federal corporation. I showed y'all that. Trump is running a corporation. He's just good at running corporations. He does not govern the people, right? Trump does not govern the people. The legislature don't govern the people. I just proved that to y'all. The people self-govern. So when people say Trump is my president, a lot of times they don't understand that Trump is the one who works for you in the position of president of the CEO, president and CEO of the corporation called the United States. And he's doing a good job for the corporation. So you vote for who the freak you want to. I just vote. I mean, I elect for us to have no fraud, right? So I will catch you guys later. Y'all be cool. Stay out of trouble. Put them affidavits together. Let's bring that freaking smoke. Let's bring that freaking fire. Are you going to do a live, child live? I've done a whole bunch of them. They just erased my other page. But yes, if the Lord lets me live, I'll do a ton on CPS. Tell all your attorney friends and judges and guardian ad litem's to come on, CASA members, so they can argue with me too and get embarrassed in like 5 seconds. So I will catch you guys later. Y'all be cool. Stay out of trouble. Peace.